right, this is the Ortelius January 16, 2023 outreach meeting. The doc is in the chat that I'll be updating. And what I really want to cover today is I need to put together a BlogAthon. And I'm hoping that I can get some suggestions from the group here of what we should include in that BlogAthon. What topics would any of us like to talk about or have people work on?
I can do Ortelius in a box if you want.
That's awesome. That would be great.
Or is there already enough on that?
There's never enough. You know, that's the thing about these kinds of topics, is that we might get bored of them before most of the people have even seen it. So okay. I think it's totally fine to do that.
Yeah.
But in a broader, so that would be that topic. I would call that topic something like becoming what's needed to become a developer, or something of that. Let's see. Okay, topics for BlogAthon. Because what I have found is it's easier to get folks to do the BlogAthon if they could just do it based on a pull request. So if we have some topics, then I'll just put a couple of issues out there so people can, and then I'll assign them to people. So we'll say one of the topics is going to be first-time contributors. Some of the technical, I know we should do something around SBOMs. I think we should do something around blockchain. You know, we used to do topics like GitOps. I don't know if that's something that we still want to think about doing. Topics around like.
I could, the GitOps documentation needs to be updated. So we could do that one.
Okay. How about we do one around Backstage in Ortelius? Even though we haven't really made a whole lot of progress there, we could at least have an outline of it.
Yeah, we may be able to get something from Brad on where he's at.
Okay.
Do you want in the bucket of SBOMs something like, what is an SBOM and why do you care?
That's totally, that's, you know, a lot of people don't understand SBOM, so those are how to and what is are really good blogs. So
put that one down for me.
Okay.
By the way, as I sign up, it'd be good if I knew when I had to have this delivered to you. This
is going to be through April 15th.
Okay, I'll get it in by the 16th for sure.
Okay, so the BlogAthon, I would like to have it run through February 1st through April 15th. And I probably should just do March 1st. Now, it gives, if doing it longer is better, it gives people plenty of time. So I'll say February 1st through April 15th. I think another one is Ortelius data collected. You know, something in the area of DevOps and security data. Or we call it centralized evidence store.
I think we should maybe one how we're different from other like Sasha just was showing us like this thing called CAST. Other catalogs.
How about other SBOM consumption tools? And consumption of S-bombs is a good topic too, around S-bombs.
Well, that's why I kind of was thinking with the how do you use them?
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's the purpose if you just leave them sitting out there? Any other topics that I think we could have some on supply chain. And maybe that's what I should talk about here instead of Ortelius data collected, supply chain data. What is supply chain data? Are there any other kinds of, I would say, community building? And diversity topics? Let me take a quick look at what we did a couple of years in 2021. Let's see real quick. I think the blog is going to still be out there. Under news. Oktoberfest. BlogAthon. Let me share my screen really quick here. Here are the topics that we did. Let's see. Hermetic deployments. What it means to separate data from definition and key value pairs. Versioning, of course, we should versioning and blast radius, we should definitely still include. Let's see. So we did tips and tricks, which is pretty high level. What it means to be an Ortelius contributor, GitOps, and configuration management. But I think I'm going to go back over here. Where were we? Where's my?
As I could name my article like getting developer ready, for example, for Ortelius,
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do a blog on that.
Versioning, microservices, understanding microservice, blast radius, managing microservice drift. That's a good start, I think. Are there any like management level ones that we should include on here? Mentorship, maybe would be a good one. Because not everybody's technical, so I try to make sure that we have plenty for
Yeah, I've been mentoring Oliver a lot. It's been great.
yeah.
If you want something on mentoring, I can do that one for you, Tracy. Done it.
That would be awesome. And these would have to be terribly long blogs. If we look at what we did before, we look at some of these blogs. Did I link to them here? Here's the one on that Garima did on bootstrapping open source community through engagement. She actually got a lot of traction on this. This was a good blog for her. You know, she went through. She did a very nice job of this. She took some time on doing it, but it's still not a terribly long blog. I'm probably assuming it's probably around 500 to 700 words. But she's got a lot of nice graphics in here, and those tend to get a lot of attention. So that was one of our stronger blogs. And then this one was precious. He talked about creating his first pull request, and just who he was, why he got into why he decided to join, what his experience was going through his first pull request. And those personal journeys are always interesting to people. Oh, here's Sasha's. He did one on the Google Cloud build, which is another topic we should do. We should do blogs on installing in the Helm chart.
I just kind of put that. Well, yeah. We can do.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Steve helped me a lot
Like
with
getting
that.
up and running with Ortelius.
Yep. And we do have a
Steve.
POC doc now that somebody can turn into a blog.
Steve, is there a repo for the Ortelius in a box that I
No.
can use? Okay.
Let me create a new one for you.
Yeah, when you get a chance, then I'm going to put the code in there.
Okay. I'll drop you the link on Discord.
Sure, thanks.
So what I'll do is I'll consolidate these a bit, but I'll go ahead and create some pull requests or some issues for these. Do we have a hackathon sub-project someplace, Steve?
It's a label.
Okay,
You
just do it as
just
a label.
label
Okay.
the issues, and you could create a new label. I think we may look if we have a BlogAthon label.
So I'll get this updated to the website today, and I'm going to push it out as much as we can. Some people who've never contributed like to write blogs, so this is a way to start engage people that may have been sitting on the sidelines and quiet, and get them back, getting their head back into the product. Garima called me. Garima and Nitu both called me, and they want to get back involved. So that's kind of nice to have two women. I've been pinging them. Garima Bajpai is often pretty busy because she does the DevOps Canadian Summit. And she is the chairperson of the CDF ambassadors. So she could be quite busy, but I'm going to reach out to some of the CDF ambassadors for making these contributions as well. So on our outreach list, this is probably the biggest task that we have, is to getting a good hackathon or blogathon pulled off for the next 2 months. And I could run this through the end of April. That gives it 3 months, but I think 60 days is fine. I don't think.
I think if we leave it too long, we'll miss.
Yeah.
People just postpone, procrastinate.
So I think from February 1st, so all of February, March, and then 2 weeks in April. And I'll start pinging people at the end of March to say, we've only got 2 weeks left, and hopefully we'll get some of these earlier. And I might even do one that's on working with OBS, Twitch, and StreamYard. It's hard. I try to set it. For some reason, we're not broadcasting it properly today. I don't know if my virtual camera is not working correctly or what, but it keeps asking me for a broadcast key or something of the sort.
There's another thought that comes to mind when you mention that. How do you decide which streaming platform to use? Is that the same as a virtual meeting platform? What are the differences?
Yeah, it's taken us a while to figure out this process, and I didn't do it right again today.
That wasn't why I thought of it, Tracy.
Yes.
But I think it would be something, I tend to tell people a lot, what would it have been helpful for you to have found out before you embarked on this journey? And I think it would
That
be
is-
helpful to say, as a small organization with, pretty serious financial constraints, I mean, we're open source. How do you figure this out?
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of under the community building.
Yeah, that's what I'll do it
Yeah, it
under.
is.
Probably the hardest one, I would say.
It's for me, if I write it down and teach somebody else, then I'll make sure I've got it right for myself. So I don't, every time I sit down, I know what the steps are to go through to get it started, because for some reason it's not, even though I said I was streaming, it's not streaming correctly. It's quite a stack. I mean, there's a lot of tools that you have to use to pull it together. It's definitely not, one little location and push a button and it goes. So, sooner or later, somebody's going to build something that will do that. But StreamYard does a great job if you've got everything else set up. So I'll write something on that. All right, I think we have a plan then for our hackathon. So it's just going to be, I'll get this stuff sent out. If there's anybody else who wants to start looking at the list of issues and assign them to folks, please don't hesitate. If you see something you think somebody could do a good job on, like we probably should think about assigning something to Arvin. These are really good exercises for him because it really makes him get his head into different areas. I think Utkarsh has done wonderful blogs for us in the past. There may be one that would be really good for him to focus on. So if you think there's somebody, just assign it and send them an email and say, hey, I thought this might be a good area for you. And other than that, I did the CFP for
CDCon?
CDCon is open. It's going to be in Vancouver, Canada on May 8th and 9th. I will not be able to go because I've already signed up to go to Women of Silicon Valley, which I've been wanting to go to for several years now. And there's always something in the way. And of all of 365 days out of the year, both CDCon and Women of Silicon Valley are on the same day. I'm assuming we will have representation there. I know Brad would most likely go. He is on the committee for accepting talks. I'm going to look at possibly, I don't know if they're going to do a virtual track, but if there's anybody on this call who would like to go, the call for papers is open, and Garima Bajpai and Brad McCoy are on the selection committee. So we should have a pretty good chance of getting stuff in there. I think that Steve will probably have to go and represent and do some talks on Ortelius, because we can't have both of us not show up. It would be really bad form. So we'll just take separate little trips. me and hanging out with the ladies in Silicon Valley. I have sent my proposal in to speak at the Women of Silicon Valley on Ortelius. So we'll see where it goes. Red Hat Summit closed. I did submit a talk for that. So did Sergio. And I haven't really looked at what other conferences are coming up. Open SSF is one that I think that we will definitely go to, Steve and I both, and try to get talks. Because even though Ortelius is under the CDF, some of its topics are very relevant to what they're doing in what they call Stream 9, SBOMs everywhere. And we need to stay front and center in that crowd.
Is anybody having problems with Git being really slow today? GitHub, I mean.
I haven't looked at it, GitHub, I haven't opened it.
I'm trying to open one of our issues and it's been taking a couple minutes.
Yeah, I work on a client's enterprise one, which is always slow because I'm all the way in South Africa.
Yeah.
And they're in Europe. They don't have a
And you're
local
over a
area.
VPN probably.
No, I don't even get a VPN.
Oh,
Yeah, it's fun.
alrighty.
And in case if some of you may not know, but I am hosting Tech Strong Women TV now for Alan Schimmel and DevOps.com.
Yo, that's really cool.
Yeah,
I love
I've been
that
having,
DevOps.com. So
yeah.
cool.
So if you know, check out Tech Strong Women, there's been some really interesting stories. The first one we did was with Tara Hernandez, and her and I are about the same age, and I was astonished by how much our careers aligned. How she started doing development, she got into the build space, she started trying to figure out how to automate things. That brought her into, lifecycle management. So it's a very interesting kind of career journey that follows how we've come to DevOps right now. So if there are any women that within your circles, especially in leadership positions, please forward me their names and I can reach out to them and see if they'd like to be interviewed. We're doing 24 women a year, 2 a month. We've gotten a huge amount of interest in it. We've got quite a few women who are interested in participating, but we really are looking for women who have rose to leadership positions like Tara through being from a developer and moved up the chain. We're going to have Liz Rice, who really helped start CNCF, Jamie Thomas, who is a high-level exec for IBM, and some other individuals at that level. So if you know women who are in strong leadership positions, please forward their names over.
So I put a topic out there, places to find info, and I think consolidating those into a blog would be great. Like, because I know, Sasha, you have a couple, and just like the architecture one we talked about with Tony, would be a stuff that we could just consolidate these websites together.
That's a great idea, and I can in the
just
issue
like
for that.
Quick one sentence. What is this? What the purpose of the website is?
Yeah, and I can put in the issues some of the ones that we'd want to include, and then that's a really good first time kind of pull request for somebody. Great idea.
Yeah, that is a great idea.
Because I know that's always hard to find which ones you should be going to, because like that architecture one that Tony was talking about, I've never heard of that one before.
That website, geez, I learned something new now. I had no idea about that site.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That looks like a great site too. It's packed with info. Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, could you put that site down here?
What was it? Oh,
it's in the chat here, publications.opengroup.org.
yeah, let me grab it.
Publications.opengroup.org.
Yeah.
Hey,
Let's see if,
It's like looks like an architectural gold mine.
yeah, it's kind of like a library thing.
Yeah.
Yep. That'll get you there.
all right. Okay, well, I will get this out and I'll go ahead and publish it, and then I'll make sure everybody sees it's out there. And please send me feedback if you think I've missed something. And I'll get issues created and numbers associated to it, like I did for our hackathon. Except this will just be blogs.
Yep, and we'll just make sure. Oh, there's the. Let me see if we have. It looks like right now we just have a hackathon label, but we can create a BlogAthon label. It's real simple to do.
Okay, sounds good. I'll do that. All right, everybody. I think that's it. Tony had to run.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
had to go. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Tracy.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.